This is Ken Pyle with VOD-TV. We're at Parks Associates Connections Conference at CTIA. We're with Henry Choy of Net2TV. And Net2TV has been in the press in the last 6 months, and it's over-the-top video, it's aggregating content. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so Net2TV is a media company, and what we're trying to do is deliver free ad-supported high-quality TV programs to the smart TVs and connected devices. So as you said, we're over-top play. We take content from our video partners, and we produce high-quality video shows from them.
And that makes sense that it would be an ad-supported basis given the roots of the company, right? Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Tom Morgan came to us through Black Arrow, and he was the founder of, so he's pretty well known in the sort of interactive ad space. What we saw really on the marketplace, if you look at over the top, you kind of have two ranges of types of videos that's being offered today. One is things like Netflix, Hulu Plus, where it's subscription based, so you have to pay for the content. And then you have the other side where it's very web clippy like, where really it's just clip after clip after clip with maybe with a pre-roll ad that's put in there in the production of the video. And what we saw was really a sort of a hole in between the two where there's not a well-produced TV-like experience that's free and ad supported. So that's sort of the genesis of the company, was to fill that gap where there's really nothing today that's really high quality, well TV produced. If you look at the company itself, the majority of the employees actually come from the TV broadcast space. Okay. So rather than to have a PC-like treatment of video, we treat it more like television, right? So if you watch our service and watch some of our shows, it looks and feels like normal television. So sort of a good example, we're so used to watching TV that when the elements are missing from what we're watching, you don't notice it, right? But if you look at a normal program, there's usually an opening title, right? There's usually a table of contents that tells you what's coming up, right? And then before a commercial break, you usually have a tease, right? I'm sure you're very familiar with it, right? But as a normal viewer, you're used to those things, but you're not. When it's not there, you go, something's not quite right.
It just doesn't seem the same.
So what we have is we have a Emmy award-winning producing team. We take content from our partners, and they put all those graphical interstitial elements in there to make it feel like normal television. Nice. So when someone watches our show, there's an open, there's graphics that opens up. There's teases that happen in between every 7 to 8 minutes before the commercial starts and so on. So it feels like normal television. That's what we're trying to do.
And so from there's a bunch of questions here, but we'll start with the device perspective. You're going over the top to these devices, connected TVs and so forth. What sort of devices, how many devices are you on today? Yeah,
so the service launched on the Philips TVs in the US. That was launched in December. We'll be making some announcements shortly, where by the end of the year we'll have devices ranging from smart TVs to Blu-ray players to streaming set-top boxes, as well as other mobile devices, right? Kind of the way we view it is a screen is a screen is a screen, and people now no longer just view television content on TVs, right? Depending where you are, depending on your certain situation, what typically happens is viewers will watch on what we call the best available screen. Right. So if you're in the kitchen away from the television set and you want to watch a particular program, you're going to watch it on the kitchen table, but it may happen to be a laptop or it may happen to be a tablet. Right. If it's if the large screen TV is available in the family room, living room, and you want to watch that content, you'll naturally gravitate towards sort of what we call the best available screen. So you'll see our content, our portico service, through a number of those different devices over this upcoming year.
So from a perspective of the advertising itself, are you targeting that then towards the demographic of the individual watching?
I think over time, when we get more data on, so in the first phase, really it's just there's no registration per se, but certainly over time, when we have a wider range of channels, and the viewers would then be able to personalize content for themselves. we can see that as being a sort of a targeted ad play. In the short term, it's really putting interstitial ads into roughly every 7 to 8 minutes, sort of like typical TV. Okay. Exactly.
Some of the interactive advertising and the kind of the targeted ad stuff from Black Arrow isn't quite there yet in the.
Yeah, I think over time that's going to happen, right? Yeah. People have been talking about interactive ads for a really, really long time, right? And certainly the CPM rates could be higher, right? But we believe if we can become part of a normal television buy, right, then it becomes simple, right? You don't have to explain to them what interactive ad is. You don't have to build out a particular application to run the interactive app. Now, from a technology platform point of view, we can certainly do that, right? So we have the capabilities, and if somebody comes to us and says, we would love for you to do this, we can certainly do it. Right. But the kind of the way we view it is the interstitials are going to be very important because we want to be part of a normal TV ecosystem, right? And then certainly, like I said, we can certainly support sort of the interactive ads and things that are much more fancy if that's what's needed as well.
So how about the discovery? So how do you get consumers to see, oh, this is on TV?
Right. So part of our business model is that we do a revenue share back to the consumer electronics manufacturers. Okay. So we're hoping with that there's some incentive for them to give us better placement. Okay. Once the Portico app service starts, we do something that's pretty unique in that all the user interface screens have a promotional window in there. Okay. And what the promotional window does is it tells the user in about a minute and a half what's available to watch within the Portico service. Okay. We also group it by categories as well. So once you launch the Portico service, you'll see different categories. So technology is one, for example. Okay. We also have one for entertainment, and we have independent independent movies as well. And the last one is child. Those are 4 current categories, right? So the thinking is that if someone is interested in technology, they can launch the technology category. They'll see 6 channels, right? And then within the 6 channels, you'll see a promotional window there as well. And the promotional window will tell you what shows are available within those 6 channels. So instead of typing and searching, what's available, it's
more like channel surfing.
Exactly, right. So the idea is you're sitting back, watching television, listening to what they say. In about a minute and a half, you have an idea of what's available, and you just go and just watch it, just like normal television. We're really trying to bring back, sort of old-fashioned TV viewing.
It's kind of linear on demand, right? In the sense that you're demanding it, but then it's spoon feeding you, right? Is that
right?
The idea?
Right. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, we believe television is an art and not a science, right? So we have humans curating content. We have humans, developing shows, and we think humans are much better at figuring out what the viewers want to watch than some synthetic, database somewhere, right? So we have humans basically doing all that, and it's people from the TV industry.
It sounds like you're taking away that whole challenge of on-demand, which is pulling the content, right? You have to go through, find all these options, and then pull it. And you start pushing it once they make the decision.
Right. So again, if you want it to be a television experience, you really have to think about what the viewer wants, right? And yes, there are cases where they're going to want to go search for something to watch, but if you want to be entertained and you want to be in a sort of relaxing television environment, you really want somebody to say, here's some programs that you may be interested in, and we're going to present it to you in a television-like format, and you just sit back and watch. So you can watch 3 hours worth of shows in a particular channel. The other thing we do is on a weekly basis we change the promotional windows and we change content. So
it's refreshed and it's fresh.
Exactly. So I don't know how many times I've gone to a particular website somewhere, and there's a topic that you like, and you watch X number of videos, and you go back a week later, a month later, and it's the exact same thing, right? We have to keep it fresh, right? We have to give reasons for viewers to come back, and so what we do is we update that content on a weekly basis.
Now, from a content publisher standpoint, what format do they get it into you? How does that work?
Right. So if you look at the smart TV sort of ecosystem, right now, there are so many different SDKs or software development kits that you need to be able to put into the various platforms, right? So one of the things we do is we abstract all those complexity, make it easy for our content partners to, through our service, to be able to get into a number of brands. So all they do is they generally just give us an RSS feed. MS, right, and then we take their content. So a good example of that, a very good partner with CBS Interactive. They provide us content from child.com. Okay, they have Chow.com has over 3,000 video clips, anywhere from 30 seconds to about 12 minutes. Okay. We have our TV producing team looks at all the content and figures out, let's go ahead and make a show about for Mother's Day, right? They'll go through the 30,000 list of 30,000 videos and pick out specific ones. So our very first show launched for Chow Down, which is the name of our show, was about breakfast, okay. Right? So we looked at their video library. They had a 3-minute clip on how to make a Denver omelet. Mm-hmm. They had a 30-second clip on how to make oatmeal. I believe it was another 30-second clip on how to make a best cup of coffee, right? So we take all those different video clips, yeah. We string it together, put transitions in there, and then put the teases in there to make it look like a normal show. Right. So it feels like again, I sound like I'm repeating myself. Yeah. Is we really want it to be a TV experience. That's really important to us.
Yeah, and the other key thing though is it is on demand in the sense that you're only pulling up that stream as the customer's demanding it. It's not like it's a multi.
Right. So a term that we've used internally is synthetic linear. Yeah. Right. So we're creating a linear playlist, and if someone starts the channel, they'll see 3 hours worth of content. Right. And then if they're after they're done with 3 hours of content, they go to another channel, and then there's another 3 hours of content. So we keep it fresh that way.
Well, super. Well, Henry, I look forward to hearing some of these new announcements and some of the new devices it'll be on. It sounds like you guys are just at the start of something that's going to be growing. So,
thank you.